There are dark pages in history that weren't written with ink, but with blood. In every era, every empire, and every corner of the world, execution wasn't just punishment. It was a performance. A spectacle of fear designed to break bodies, crush spirits, and send a clear message. Step out of line, and this could be you. Today we're counting down the top 5 most brutal execution methods in history. Not for the faint of heart, but for those who dare to look history in the eye. Before we dive into this raw journey, tap like, subscribe, and ring that bell if you're ready to uncover truths the textbooks leave behind. Now let's begin. 1. Lingchi. Death by 1,000 cuts. Imperial China. Imagine this. You're tied to a post in a public square. Your arms restrained. Your chest exposed. You're alive and very aware. A knife is drawn. Not to kill quickly, but to slice slowly, deliberately. The executioner makes shallow cuts across the chest, shoulders, limbs. Over time, those cuts become deeper. Fingers are removed, muscles flayed from bone. Skin hangs like ribbons. Hundreds, sometimes thousands of incisions, all done methodically, often lasting hours. Known as Lingchi, this method wasn't just about pain, it was about total erasure. The body was dismantled in front of the crowd. Families were often forced to watch. The soul, they believed, would be cursed forever if the body was left in pieces. It was abolished in 1905, but not before thousands were reduced to nothing but a pile of bloody fragments and bone. 2. The Brazen Bull, Ancient Greece. At first glance, it looks like a statue, a life-size bull made entirely of bronze, shining in the sun. But it's hollow inside. With a small door, you're shoved in. The door is sealed. Then the fire is lit. As the flames roar beneath the bull's belly, the metal turns red hot. You try to scream, but there's nowhere for the sound to go. The pipes in the bull's head distort your cries into a deep, guttural animal sound. To those watching, it sounds like a bull roaring in pain. They laugh, they cheer, some weep. This was the invention of Wallace, a Greek tyrant who used the brazen bull to kill rebels and enemies. But irony has a long memory, and when his own rule ended, Wallace was thrown into his own creation. The bull took him too. 3. Scaphism, ancient Persia. This one goes beyond death. It weaponizes nature itself. Scaphism was designed to be slow, grotesque, and degrading. The condemned was stripped naked and laid between 2 canoes or hollow logs, head, arms, and legs sticking out. Then comes the mix of honey and milk smeared over the body, poured down the throat until nausea sets in. Next, they were left floating in a swamp, tied down, helpless. Flies come first, then wasps, maggots, beetles. Flesh begins to rot while the person is still alive. Organs fail slowly. Skin festers. Infections bloom. Each day brings more agony. The worst part? It didn't last hours, it lasted days, sometimes weeks. Scaphism wasn't just execution, it was biological torture. A living corpse, eaten inside and out by the world around it. 4. Sawing in half Europe, Middle East, Asia. It starts with you being hung upside down. Gravity rushes blood to your head, keeping you conscious. Then comes the saw. Placed between your legs, it cuts slowly downward into flesh, muscle, bone. But because you're inverted, blood doesn't rush away. It floods the brain, keeping you alive longer. This method was used in medieval Europe, Ottoman Turkey, even parts of Southeast Asia. It was for traitors, heretics, rebels, people. The state wanted erased publicly. Spectators watched every motion of the saw from groin to sternum until the body was split in two like firewood. It was brutal, it was public, and it was meant to make your death a symbol of absolute state power. 5. The breaking wheel medieval Europe. They called it the Catherine wheel, but there was nothing saintly about it. The condemned was tied spread-eagle to a massive wooden wheel. Then came the iron bar swung by the executioner with cold precision. First the legs smashed into the spokes, then the arms, then the ribs. Each strike calculated to break, not kill. Limbs bent at impossible angles. Bones pierced skin, but the heart kept beating. In some cases, victims were interwoven into the wheel's spokes, and the whole thing raised up on a pole, a grotesque trophy, to rot in the air for days. Execution by wheel wasn't just about pain, it was about public humiliation, spectacle, and control. And yes, in some rare cases, if the crowd was moved by pity, the executioner was allowed to deliver a final, merciful blow. But that was rare. Most simply broke and died slowly, piece by piece. Final thoughts. These weren't just executions, they were warnings. They turned the act of death into a message: disobey and suffer. From bronze bulls to blood-soaked saws, history shows us that power, when unchecked, turns punishment into theater and the human body into a canvas of cruelty. But these stories matter. They tell us how far humanity has come and how far we still have to go. Now, if this dark chapter of history fascinated you, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more truths they don't put in textbooks. And tell us in the comments, which of these methods shook you the most? Stay curious, stay awake. This is Naked History, where we don't dress up the past, we strip it bare.